Welcome back to Joella's Garage. Today I'm going to pull the motor and transmission out of the Safari car. I need to fix a couple of things, not fix, but I need to change the seals on the transmission because it seeps a little bit old. I'll show you that now. I do a valve adjustment and just kind of give it a once over with the engine out. I always find it's easier to do it with the engine out of the car than in the car. So that's what's coming up. Stay tuned. Another thing that I've been thinking of doing is altogether removing the spoiler. I've gotten a lot of comments and the majority of them are get rid of the spoiler, leave the deck lid, put the regular grill back on, and just don't even put a spoiler or put a ductile. But I don't have a ductile to put on it, so that's why I put this one. But apparently nobody seems to like it. So maybe I'll remove it and just leave it tailless, I guess. Although this tail is very convenient. I make coffee up here. You can put your burger up here. Not that I have a baby, but if I had a baby, you could change a diaper up here. I mean, listen, the spoiler like this is good to have. But at the end of the day, if I'm gonna be selling this car and nobody likes a spoiler, there's no sense in having it on there. So I'll probably remove it. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about removing the motor and transmission. I need to be careful up there because it's a little close. So let me show you guys what I'm dealing with here. All right, now that I'm under the car, let me show you guys here what I'm dealing with. First of all, this oil line right here seems to weep. So while I have it out, I'm gonna take that oil line to the hydraulic shop and have them replace just that, I don't know, 12-inch piece of rubber there. That's it. Everything else is fine. It's just the rubber line there. Let's see what else here. You can see there's kind of some oil seepage coming from the top of the motor. It could be, you see the caked on like the mud, you know, and you can see where the oil has gotten on the mud. So it's probably coming from valve cover, not valve cover, breather gasket or thermostat O-ring or whatever else leaks from the top of the motor. It doesn't drip. As you can see, there's no drops of oil anywhere. You probably see, usually here at the lowest point, you'd see a drop of oil. So anyway, I got to deal with that. I'm not sure, you know, there's only so much I can do also, but the good thing is at least it's not leaking. It's not uncommon for air-cooled motors to seep oil, but there's nothing on the ground, so that's what's important. What else? This one seems to be okay, or maybe that one up there too. I'll take that one, and get it redone, but I'm not sure. Okay, transmission. Same thing. You can see on the caked on mud how it's kind of getting wet there. This side's drier, but this side is definitely seeping through the output flange seal there. So I need to replace that. The shift shaft seal also needs to be replaced. And since I'm at it, you know, I'll replace this one too. I'll replace the input shaft seal. I'll probably take the flywheel out and do the rear main seal. Adjust the valves, put new valve cover gaskets, put it back together, put it back in the car, and call it done. I think what's going to take me the longest of all of this is just ordering the parts and waiting for them to arrive. When I first got the car, the valve cover gaskets were leaking pretty bad, but I gave them a little snug. I know they're not supposed to be tight. I think only like 8 foot-pounds or something like that, but they weren't even tight. So they were leaking on both sides. And all I did was just give them a little snug, just a little bit. And they don't leak a drop anymore. So that's good. This guy was leaking some, so I definitely got to fix that. All right, let me go put on some dirty clothes and get to it. I'm gonna have to bring the car down and disconnect the shift coupler up here. That way I don't have to worry about doing it later. So I'll bring the car down, do that, get the car back up in the air, and start tearing into it. And on another note, Look at the bottom of this car. It's just all covered in mud. Oh, I need to get the Renline skid plate for up here also. I don't think you can have air conditioning with that skid plate up here, but still, I don't think, I wasn't planning on fixing the AC in this car anyway. It doesn't work. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm gonna even look into it. So I'm gonna get that skid plate that covers the gas tank, and up here from Renline, they sell it, and protect the bottom of the car a little, especially the gas tank. So two things first that you need to do. One is disconnect that shift coupler back there, down there. Because if you don't disconnect this guy and you're trying to pull that motor out and it's not coming out, see it's disconnected, it's not coming out, that's why. And then you take the risk of bending the shift shaft going into the transmission. The other thing you have to do is make sure to disconnect that battery. All right, onto the back. Next thing is to drain the oil from the engine and from the oil tank. Fortunately, this one has one of those little valves. Let me work my way over there. It's got a little valve, so it should drain just by opening that up. But we'll see. I'm gonna try now. And then also got to drain the transmission. That's next. All right, got the drain plug out. And you can see that the plug itself, let's see, looks pretty good. There's no shavings or anything. There's no metal in there. So that's good. A little trick that not everybody knows about is you take the oil filter and you punch a hole in it with like a screwdriver or a Torx thing or whatever. That's what I use there. Then you get your compressed air, you put it there, and you blow. And that will help. Let's see. I think I already got it out. Anyway, that helps push the rest of the oil through the oil system out. It's better to do this with the engine hot so that oil thermostat is open, but right now the engine is cold, so whatever. But it's still working. You can see it's still dripping, and it's working. Then you got to disconnect the oil lines. The one from the this S hose here, you can disconnect it from the motor or from the oil tank. I disconnected from the tank. And this oil line here. What else? Also I'm draining the transmission. It's already pretty much done. So I'm gonna put the drain plug back in it. Then I gotta put the car up. I have to disconnect the starter, the ground, the throttle linkage, the clutch cable, and that almost will do it. Oh, and the sway bar. I gotta take the sway bar out. And that'll do it for the bottom of the car. Then I gotta go up to the top. Oh, and then I have to also disconnect the axles from the output flanges. So it's not too bad. But I am here on the floor laying on a creeper, so I need to get the car in the air so I can start working like a normal person. So let's see where we're at. All right, I got the oil lines done. I got the speedo disconnected. I got the ground strap disconnected. I got the throttle linkage disconnected. I got the clutch cable disconnected. I got the sway bars done. I just have to take these two 19mm bolts out. And I think that's it for the bottom. Oh, and the axles. But other than that, that should be it. Okay, now for real, I'm done. Axles out, sway bar out. Everything down here is ready to go. This is disconnected. This is disconnected. There's no oil line here like I'm used to. Oh, I got to disconnect these guys here. But that should be as easy as that. Okay. All right, I got to go to the top now and start disconnecting the fuel lines, the vacuum lines, return lines, and that should do it. All right. Man, there's a lot of dirt down here. I'm being very careful though not to get any dirt anywhere where oil goes. Being very careful. And then when I get it out of here, I'm going to take these outside and give them a good bath. And in here, I need to disconnect the breather lines. I need to disconnect the harness. I need to unplug the CDI. I need to get rid of this. And then back there, I need to disconnect the fuel supply, the return, and the vacuum that goes up to the front brake booster. And then aside from that, I don't think there's really much else I need to do here. AC compressor's already out. So yeah, I just got to take those 2 lines out, take this out, and that should be it. Fairly straightforward. Or so I hope. All right, I got everything disconnected. I just need to do one more breather hose and drop this baby down. All right, you guys have seen these boxes that I use before. So what I do is I put a couple of 2x4s there to land on the heat exchangers. I put a couple blocks of wood back there, as you can see, to hold the transmission. So now what I need to do is take out this bolt, and then the 2 that hold the transmission, and the motor should come down. So let's see what happens. And I'm here by myself, so hopefully nothing goes crazy, but I think it should be fine. And voila, motor is out. And transmission. Man, they're dirty. Anyway, I need to kind of lock this thing better because it's a little squirrely here. I got to put a couple more pieces of wood down there so it doesn't move. And then I'm going to roll it over there. I'm going to bring the 964 inside, and I'm going to go home. But the engine is out. That's the important thing. Yeah, that's it. Just need to clean it. I'll bring it outside. I'll give it a real good cleaning and start going over it. But that'll be another video. So that's going to wrap up today's video on the Safari. I need to clean that thing. Maybe not so much on the outside, but underneath I need to clean it. I really need to clean this motor also. It's filthy. I was looking at it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the entire intake just so I have access to everything. I'll remove all of the tin around, clean everything up. That way I have easy access to do a valve adjustment. I'll have to remove the transmission, clean it up. That way I can change the input shaft seal as well as the rear main seal on the motor. Even though I don't think the rear main seal on this motor leaks, but I don't know. I can take it apart and then I'll see if there's any remnants of oil back there, and then I'll see. But if I already have it apart, it's a matter of 1, a rear main seal, and 2, the 9 flywheel bolts. We're not talking about a lot of money in parts. This guy definitely has been leaking. Like I showed you guys before, this one also has been leaking. This one as well. I think this one actually more. Otherwise, I don't really see much as far as the motor goes. I don't know. I don't really see much unless it's coming from the seals on the oil cooler, which is right down here. So again, once I take all that stuff off, I can take a better look and see what's really going on in there. I don't know if I want to mess with things too much, really, because the motor runs great. I mean, there's really no reason to be messing with it because there's nothing really wrong with it. So, yeah, I don't know, but I definitely need to take it outside and clean it. I think I'm going to put the engine on an engine stand. That way I can turn it over and all that. The more access I have to it, the better I can determine what needs to happen with it as far as getting any oil leaks. I don't even think it really leaks much. Yeah, it seeps a little bit. The transmission was definitely seeping. The oil maybe just a little bit. The oil lines on the car were what was leaking a pretty good amount. The valve cover gaskets, like I said before, they were leaking, but I snugged them up and they don't leak anymore. So I'm gonna take those oil lines out, but I have to take the car out. I have to clean that up really well before I start disconnecting those oil lines because there's just way too much dirt there. So. And that'll be for a whole other video. It's dark outside. It's late. Tired. Hungry. Going home. Time to drink a cold beer. So, thank you for watching, as always. And hit the like button and the subscribe. Obviously, more videos on this car coming up. The motor is going to be a kind of a work in progress here. Hopefully, it shouldn't take me too long. I think what's going to take me the longest is just waiting for the parts to arrive. I need to do what I have to do, take it all apart, order the parts, and once they arrive, put it all back together. That's not going to take very long either. Put the motor back in the car. Hopefully, by then I'll have the seats. The panels, the stuff that needs to get painted will be in the body shop. And once it comes together, light pod also. So once it starts coming together, then hopefully it'll be pretty much done, or at least as far as done as I'm gonna get it. So remember, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thanks for watching.